Our subject matter for today is to build on what we learned yesterday, and let's revise what we went through yesterday. So yesterday we discussed, or I shared, the importance of understanding the importance of working for health and happiness, and how along the way we have slightly got confused and distracted, and rather than the focus being health and happiness, we have moved to the focus being money, time, which essentially consumes us. Yesterday, I shared with you that we'll be sharing simple, realistic, scientific, both traditional and modern research material for you. So it can assist you in cleaning the slate of your needs, wants, values, and beliefs that don't serve you, and replace it with a clean slate and add to it the new beliefs, values, needs, and wants that you might acquire from the next 20 days. I have also shared some text material on this Facebook group, so feel free to read through the material. This is 20 years worth of research and information collected along the way, specially being shared for you, so we can have a healthier and happier you, which in turn will assist in a healthier and happier community. So we work in cohesion with each other, and we work towards happiness, health, herd immunity, and ascension. Getting started with day 2, I would like to share with you the 3-phase belief. Now, the 3-phase belief is very simple. It happens in 3 phases. We believe that human beings are smart, and we know exactly what needs to be done. But the over-information that is happening around us sometimes confuses us, and it creates a wrong kind of collective consciousness. When that happens, we follow that consciousness as a herd. In marketing terms, we call it the tipping point, where a product or a service or an idea reaches its graph, reaches the tipping point, has a good honeymoon for a period, and then starts to drop. In the same way, as we are all being plagued by the virus, this is one of the best opportunities we have as human beings to improve our immunity and to correct what is happening here. The ancient sages in every religion, every country, every race has spoken about one thing: still the mind, focus on the breath, and move the body. Those are your 3 important things to take back with you. We as humans have 3 distinct phases, which allows us to grow and learn. And I've tried to simplify this for you and for us, so it becomes very easy to understand how we need to evolve each time a situation comes. Rather, every second you have the opportunity of being somebody else. Every second you have the opportunity of letting go of a thought that doesn't serve you. Every second you have the opportunity of making a choice of eating the right foods with the right intention, moving the amount your body needs, and sleeping at the right time to suit you. Supplementation, foods, sleeping patterns, movement patterns, they all need to be adapted by you, not by me, not by some other expert sitting in another part of the world asking you to follow a nutrition plan that might work for somebody in Australia, or asking someone in India to live like how someone lives in Australia. These methods are very restrictive and it won't allow you to grow. Of course, it's important to have a system, but within that system, have a foundation, and from that foundation, keep stepping in and out. Flexibility and adaptability are very, very important. And especially, you will be tested today. You will be tested to see how well you can adapt to the changing situation, how well you can adapt to yourself. Considering all these emotions that have been with you, they're not new. They've been with you forever. The only difference is now you have the time and the space to hear it. And believe you me, if you don't have the time and space, you're going to hear it anyway. And the period now is going to test you out. So either you rise up or you just stay where you are. The choice is yours. The first phase is the phase where you can visualize a circle. Okay? Now, in this circle is your safety net. So your values, beliefs, needs, and wants. They make up the circle of safety. When you start a process, you're usually guided in that circle. You're guided by what happens in that circle. Say, for example, if you were a baby till the age of 7, your parents usually make decisions for you and literally ask you or tell you how to move, how to behave, how to eat, etc., etc. Phase 2 is when you step out of the circle with one leg, and you're always with one leg in, one leg out. So you're experimenting, and if you don't like it, you come back into your circle. That's your safety net. So you have the freedom of choosing when to step out, when to step in. And this is where you do your trial and error. So say, for example, from the age of 8 to about 14. Then comes phase 3, where after 14 to say about 15 to 21, that phase is where you step out of the circle completely. Your foundation is strong. You know exactly what you need to do in terms of securing yourself. And you only come back to your parents when you actually need it. Now, the 3 phases in terms of the age groups that I have mentioned to you are not supposed to be consistent. The phases can change. The important part is not the time of the phase, but the way the phases work. So phase 1, you're completely in. Phase 2, you step in and step out. And phase 3, you're completely out, coming in only when you need it. Now let's keep the age factor out of this discussion. Let's look at the 3 phases being independent. For example, if you want to learn a new skill, or if you're presented with a new situation, which is now where we are, we've been asked to lock down, especially here in India. So in the lockdown, they need you to be in there so you can sort out your beliefs, your values, your needs and wants for this situation. Slowly, as the situation gets under control, we'll be allowed to step out, step back in, step out, step back in. And eventually, if and when we humans can get together and understand the importance of social distancing and understanding the importance of keeping the weaker section of our society safe from what we are going through, as one unit, collectively, we will step out and only keep coming back into quarantine or into a safety net as and when we need it. So this 3-phase belief is very important. It will make a very important part of letting you be at peace with what is happening in terms of changing of situations. You can also apply this principle into your learnings. Say, for example, if you've started now a 21-day coaching session with me, try and keep the 21 days as the first phase, where you're simply taking on everything you need to take on. The second phase, you take what we've shared and you keep experimenting. The third phase is go fly. And when you need me or when you need us, you come back and we'll be there to help you. The next topic I want to discuss with you today is the 3 simple thought processes you can align with. Remember, for the ones who have been with me for the last 2.5 years, I have kept sharing the importance of simplifying life, simplifying the thought process. This simply means you can't keep moving from nutritionist to nutritionist to nutritionist, asking for shortcuts and expecting the results to come. You'll get confused. You won't know what works for you because you're living somebody else's nutrition plan. You won't know what supplement to take, and you'll keep going round and round in that same circle forever and ever and ever. What I suggest is learn what works for you. Take on board what works for you. Now, how do you do that? With practice, with sadhana. Rather, all the information I'm sharing with you is simply information, which is generic. You need to put this into an application, and you need to focus on your meditation, on your sadhana, which is your practice, and daily intention, action, manifestation to make this happen. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it for you. And that's what I would like you to take on board, which is to simplify the thought process, you must meditate. To meditate, you must have the hunger to find what you're looking for. So simplify your thought process, try and understand your beliefs, values, needs, and wants. Create your circle of safety and work from there. Of course, there will be distractions, there will be changes. Have the ability of being flexible. So you know your option 1, your option 2, or your option 3. Just like having a backup of your computer. I don't know about you, but I always believe in 3. So my computer, the backup of my computer, and a backup of that. In the same way, have a plan, have a backup, and have a backup. It's all in the planning. A laser beam is more effective than a light bulb when one wants direction. So a light bulb emits light all around. A laser beam takes you straight through. Just like I shared with you yesterday, have a goal, have the journey, but allow the speed bumps, the chai stops or the beer stops along the way, and enjoy the path, because you will get there if you're hungry enough to follow and be patient. Rather, don't you think sometimes when there's so much information being bombarded on you, eat well, move well, sleep well, buy this nutrition product, buy this supplement, buy the latest trend or the fad in the industry about juicing, don't you sometimes just stop and wonder, it can't be that hard? Like, hello, how can we have so many different trends, so many different fads coming out, telling you that you're going to get fit and healthy, and we still have a population that is the unhealthiest ever in terms of obesity? So obviously, something's not right. So I would suggest, don't buy in to fads, don't buy into trends, don't buy into what I am saying, because I'm not the gospel. I'm only sharing with you information that can help you align yourself. Second point, keep things simple. Beliefs, values, needs, and wants. By the time we finish this hour, you're going to be dreaming of these 4 words. Create it. Once you create it, keep life simple. Simplify your thoughts and keep things simple. 1 + 1 is always 2. It's as simple as that. So realign the thought process, chalk out your journey, and retrain yourself. And as you retrain yourself, you'll actually activate more of your brain. So you're a winner in all angles. The third important point, remember the topic today is to simplify the process. The third important point is staying healthy and happy. Now, we all know we want to be healthy and happy. The whole world is talking about be safe, stay at home, and be healthy. We all know what needs to be done. We are not doing it. And the question is, why? Something to ponder about. Why, when we know what we need to do to be healthy and happy, are we not doing it? Is it because we don't value who we are? Is it because we are programmed to look at the shortcut? Or is it because once we start to work in the frequency of health and happiness, we won't have the need for what we're doing now? What is your reason for not doing what you need to do to keep yourself healthy and happy? Now let's look at this whole spectrum of health and happiness. We are all vibrational beings. So the vibration we create is what we basically share. For example, if you go for a meditation class, if you go for an exercise class, if you go for a yoga class, or if you have a yoga class with different teachers, each of these experiences will create a different frequency and a different energy. Now, keeping this aside, let's look at the other spectrum where you go have a few beers to become healthy and happy. Is there a difference now in health and happiness from your yoga and health and happiness from your beer? Yes, of course. Of course, there's a difference. You might feel happy in both angles, but the frequency that we are talking about, the frequency of Om, Ah, Amen, Allah, those frequencies only come through by connecting through exercise, yoga, meditation, massage, and all things that keep you grounded to nature. It's that simple. I'm not saying don't go have a beer, don't go have a wine. It's all about the balance and intention. So remember, the frequency of health and happiness is the most important thing you can ever take back with you. And the shortest cut or the easiest way to do that is to do your meditation, your movement, and your massage. Really that simple. And all you need to do is from your 24 hours, you take out 3 hours a day. That's it. Only 3 hours a day to create the frequency of health and happiness. Try it for a week and see what happens. You'll be planning less. You'll be working more from the heart. You'll be addressing your issues by yourself. You'll still have the monkey mind jumping around, but you will be able to see each monkey through the process. And that, my friends, my brothers and my sisters, is the core important thing I can share with you. Create the frequency of health and happiness through your practice. And once you're in that state, if you eat your food, if you drink your wine, your beer, your teas, your coffees, whatever it may be, the way all of this assimilates into your body will be in a state of health and happiness. You can try thousands of diets. You can go for many retreats. You can stay home and read books. But this information is simply crowding your brain. This information is not you. This information is somebody else's story. So in short, create the frequency of health and happiness through meditation, through massage, through movement. And one very, very important thing, community, family, friends. Create the community that you want. Speak to your family, share your ideas, and keep talking. Talk to yourself in front of the camera. Talk in front of the mirror. Do whatever you need to do within yourself to create the frequency of health and happiness. So 3 simple thought processes. A laser beam is more effective than a light bulb. Keep things simple. And health and happiness frequency. If you want to know how to do this, it's very simple. Meditate, move, massage. Fundamental base rules to work on and use on a daily basis. This is by far the most important information I can share with you. Because this part requires a full half an hour, I'm going to save this for tomorrow, for day 3. But I'm simply going to warm you up by sharing with you what this is about. So fundamental base rules to work on and use on a daily basis. Your circle of safety, your needs, wants, values, and beliefs. This is the most important Lakshman Rekha. So for all my Indian friends, you'll understand Lakshman Rekha. For my international friends and my guests, Lakshman Rekha is basically a circle or a line that we put in and around ourselves like a boundary that no one can cross, and even you should not cross, which is what we are in now. We are in the lockdown stage. So your circle of safety is something we're going to discuss tomorrow. Get your books and your papers ready because we're going to do some writing tomorrow. The second most important fundamental base rule is the Triad of Balance. The Triad of Balance I have been speaking about for 20 years now. I'm still trying to locate that article that I had written for a newspaper in India in 2007, and had spoken about how important health, wealth, and relationships are in the Triad of Balance. There you go. That's a better triangle. Without health, wealth, and relationships being in equal harmony, sometimes health will be a little more important, like it is now. Sometimes wealth becomes more important, and sometimes relationships become the most important. These 3 form the Triad of Balance. Tomorrow, we'll go into detail of what all this means, and we'll try and bring out your beliefs on health, your beliefs on wealth, and your beliefs on relationships. Tomorrow, we'll also go through the wellness circle. Now, the wellness circle is eat well, move well, sleep well. Eating well doesn't mean eating the right foods. It means eating the right foods with the right intention. Moving well does not mean moving hard. Moving well means moving based on your circumstance, your age, your mindset, your goal, your needs, your wants. So don't go online following some joker who's showing you some hardcore exercises that's going to injure you, hoping that you're going to get the best body you want. No. If you want a good body, you need to master your body. You need to understand what your body is capable of doing and own that. Once you own it, you ain't going to be wasting money, time, resources on doing things that doesn't suit you. Sleep well. There's so much pressure on sleeping 8 hours. Do you know? The weather changes every day. Your thoughts change every day. So based on the environment, the thought, the weather, and everything else happening in and out of you, your sleep patterns will change. So nowhere Nowhere does it say that 8 hours is by far the best way to sleep. No, it comes down to day. Some days you might sleep for 5 hours and feel good. Some days you might feel for 10 hours and feel good. Some days you might sleep for 8 hours and feel like crap. So don't go by rules that compress you. Go by rules that help you achieve the best. For example, did you know sleeping at 9 p.m. is far superior than sleeping at 11 p.m.? So you cannot compare sleeping at 9 for 8 hours and sleeping at 11 for 8 hours. It won't work. So the reason I'm sharing these tips with you is to break through the values, the beliefs, the needs, the wants, the ideas, the perceptions that have been shared with you through a platform that they're calling science. And most of the times, it's not even scientific research that they share with you. It's just marketing material that has been created and is being sold as scientific material. Be very careful with the words that are being used. Scientific research, scientific material, scientific data. These are all very important terms for you to understand, so you don't get confused and be made a fool out of when people are trying to sell something to you.